The United States has been at war for well over a decade now, and every year thousands of troops deploy to countries like Iraq and Afghanistan. But what's being done to ensure our bravest and finest are prepared for battle no matter what occurs? We caught up with one of the Army's most storied regiments, the 3rd Cavalry Regiment out of Fort Hood, Texas, here at NTC in Fort Irwin, California.
Currently, we are in Phase 3 of 1604 rotation to the National Training Center. It's our decisive action rotation in preparation for deployment to Afghanistan.
Reconstitute as the regimental reserve.
It's part of a 2-week rotation that we do out here to train in our specific jobs, just building a unit cohesion and getting used to doing our jobs in a field setting.
Stay inside and away from windows and doors.
It is actually my first time out here. I've never been out to California at this location, and it is definitely something else. So it's not anything that everybody's used to seeing.
We're out here integrating with the Army, trying to provide air power and integrate fires with artillery.
And that's where we come into play and provide everything that the Army's requesting, so that way they can kill the bad guys, keep all the good guys safe.
It's important that we're out here training together, so whenever we go downrange, we're on the same page.
Fire in the hole! Fire in the hole! Fire in the hole!
Just trying to get out here and do the JOBs sure makes it fun.
As the squadron executive officer, I'm in a position where I help make the organization run, organizing and synchronizing not just the staff, but subordinate support structure within the organization. So it's kind of the behind-the-scenes guy, the everything guy that makes things happen. 08 is the op order, 1100 car, and then we'll have more to fill out the rest of the timeline. Every day is a little something new, but most of the time it involves some level of an operation, whether it be in the morning or afternoon, could be throughout the night. The troops are engaged in combined arms maneuver, where it's a force-on-force against an armored threat or a mechanized infantry threat, or to more of a wide area security type of a mission. Of course, we're doing both of those at the same time, and that's what's unique about the National Training Center.
The regiment is deployed here to the National Training Center to basically train the regiment in decisive action. What that does is it forces us to actually deploy, so get out of Fort Hood, go to a separate area, deploy into that area, build combat power, and then fight a realistic fight in a very large training area.
Fighting the Denovian threat, which is what we have, that's the opposition forces here, which is actually the 11th Cavalry.
They're a phenomenal fighting organization. They do this every month, and they get really, really good. They'll make the formation fight hard and challenge us to where we'll get better every time. If they beat us, that's fine. We'll learn, we'll grow, and then when we go out to Afghanistan or wherever else we have to go do missions, then we'll beat our near-peer competitor.
So they're fighting against us, we're fighting against them. Survivability is the key.
Here at NTC, it's very dusty, very hilly. The terrain is definitely a little different from anything I've trained in before.
When you look at these mountains, you get through some of these passes, it absolutely looks like Afghanistan.
It's not really liked by all, but it's the most realistic training that you'll be able to get.
We're here in the high desert of California. Even though it's February, I'm sweating, it's hot, and then it gets real cold, so we get massive temperature swings. We gotta be prepared for anything. You do get some rain this time of year, which makes it a little slick and muddy, and it can be absolutely miserable with the sand and the sun, everything gets on you. The living conditions are rustic at best. I live off of my striker. We're here 14 days in the box, as we call it. My last shower, I think was, I can't even remember, it's that long. So it's been a while.
Vegetarian taco, huh?
We eat MREs every day.
Don't work for meat eaters, man.
It sustains us, it's fuel for the body. We get through, but over time, it wears on you.
Oh, the combat fanny pack. Yeah. The combat fanny pack.
I think that as long as you're with good people, you know, we embrace it and we have a good time learning how to do our job in any conditions.
So it's a really good simulation of combat where we come in, we're fresh, we've got a lot of energy, and then the environment takes its toll. The lack of sleep as we move operations takes its toll. So it wears on you. By the end of the rotation, we're going to be exhausted, absolutely exhausted.
The National Training Center allows the squadron the opportunity to test all of our systems.
All the way from platoon operations through the troops, the squadron, and the regiment for casualties, ammunition resupply, planning operations, syncing all the mission command systems. So it really forces us to get big space, a lot of different terrain, and fast movement in the fight, and make all those things connect and work. Really, it's one of the only places that we can do that.
We continue to try to accomplish the mission, but at what cost?
We need to be prepared for the next fight. This allows us the opportunity to train and prepare for whatever's next.